It says it's setting up for your meeting for live YouTube. Done redirecting. And it's there. So we are live. Did we lose Bobby? Setting up for your meeting for live YouTube. Done redirect.
I'm here.
Okay. I'm going to shut this down because it automatically launched it and it's there. All right. Now we're going to go to share screen and I don't have to record. For those that happen to go on YouTube, they're probably not there yet anyway, but there's going to be like a 10 to 20 second delay from what we do to by the time it gets to YouTube. So today we're going to talk about Robin Williams. All right. He's gone through a lot in his life. And he suffered from the DNA words, right? Depression and anxiety. And then apparently they say that he decided to do a self-harvest. So before we go there, I want to just start off by saying this. This is really bizarre, all right? So I'm going to look to see if I have I got my niece's wedding to go to. So I went to go look in my car, see if I had one of those shoe shine things in it, because I used to have one in my car. Mm-hmm. And I saw this seed there that I took from Florida. All right. So I go get the magnet and I got soil ready and I'm going to plant this seed. So I went inside and I'm about to look to see what is this that I'm about to plant? What is this seed? There's my magnet because I ended up putting some other things on it today and planted the seed because today is a good day for planting seeds. It's part of what we covered. Well, this is what that is. It's a Cerebra-odalum seed. Indigenous to India and Southeast Asia, Cerebra-odalum, also known as pong pong or suicide tree. Now you got to understand that I already picked Robin Williams to do for today. I'd already picked earlier today that we're going to look at what Ceres and Saturn brings, because a lot of people are being affected by Saturn. I know that to be true. So these seeds are a common cause of suicide or homicide in their countries of origin. I was like, are you kidding me? So here we are going to talk about a man who took his own life. And before that, I grabbed this seed out of the car. Oh, what's this doing here? And it tells me that this seed is about taking your life. I don't think I believe that. I think it just manifests that way, but it's pretty synchronistic that that happened. Rightfully so, because yesterday we had a meeting about what's your bloodline, and the question was, when is the right time to plant a seed? And all this is pulling together. The synchronicities are absolutely crazy. So we had this one. Why did we just show you this? We're showing about when the right time to plant a seed of manifesting or a physical seed, right? And by the way, these poplars for the last few days, even though there's none left, they finished, a couple found their way to me and floated around me. That's the type of things you can expect to see. So Robin Williams, he gets affected by this. I didn't know yet, but the study for today was going to be the effects of Ceres and Saturn in a chart. So I thought, who am I going to pick? And for some reason, Robin Williams came into my mind. It's pretty wild. There's some other synchronicities, but I could talk all day about those and I won't. So we're going to look into Robin Williams' chart and we're going to see what we see. Everything's in everybody's chart. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So like I said, I tried not to prepare for this too much, just got his chart, looked at it briefly, and here's his chart. If you look at his chart, you'll see a few things that just stick out right away. That has to do with him as a character. He's got Venus aligned his south node in Leo. I mean, he had a beautiful heart. We know he has a beautiful heart with Venus there in the south node. And then look at his moon and a north node. That's really close, so he could be affected by eclipses. He's had many experiences in life, so like some quite the bangs in his life. I never looked to see if he's passed out. I didn't research that. Somebody can if they want, because we're just talking about today on having issues with time and being here, right? I don't like using the D and an A word. Mars close to Uranus. So I just briefly looking at that. That's what I saw. So then you go look at his aspect lists and see if there's anything related to Saturn. So I'm going to come down to Saturn, and then we'll do Ceres. There's Saturn. Saturn is square Chiron. So you note that. Well, Chiron is the wounded healer. If Chiron were to show up into this, this means that this sign here means it needs to be public. It needs to be spoke about. It will be shown to others. I've had that happen so many times. When people come out, their aspects are there, but not only on top of that, there's Chiron involved because it needs to be part of the wounded healing. You can see Saturn is aligned with his sun. So when there's the sun involved, Saturn kicks in. It's a circuit. Lilith can also be a trigger for Saturn. So he's got Lilith, the sun, and Chiron that are triggers. So then you go look at Ceres. And Ceres has a few things. I look at 1.0 and under, okay? Because they're more pronounced. They're almost there as far as the alignment, the exact alignment. Mm-hmm. He's in trine with Vesta, the Vestal Virgins. He's in conjunction with Neptune, and then also with his ascendant, which is the Phoenix rising. So that's how I start first, looking at Ceres and Saturn and what circuits can we make. When you then go look at his natal fixed stars, so then you got to look for things that is about him. Well, you can see his Chiron is aligned with Polaris, Chiron, the wounded healer. Chiron is the bridge between Saturn. So there's that Saturn, and then Uranus, the bridge from the light we can see, right? The 7 planets we can see, and then the planets that we cannot see. I'm going to pull this up over here, people, because I want people to see my hand motion. I don't care to be on the screen. I really don't. But Chiron is here between Saturn and Uranus, the planets we can see and the planets we cannot see. He holds that link, the spiritual link to the one you cannot see. So it's like the yin and the yang. He's also got Saturn square with Polaris. So there's a link between Chiron and Saturn, again, from his natal chart. So now you're going to look for aspects associated with that when events happen to him. Hygeia square Capella. Capella is that star is the one in the little goat, the baby goat. The sheep herder holds his baby goat, nurtures that baby goat. So it's dependent on something. So he's either was dependent on somebody really wrapped their arms around him his whole life, or he had to do that. It could be either way. I didn't study his life. So if anybody knows anything, you can put it in the comments. Juno trine with Sirius. That's where his fame kicks in. Sirius, the bright one, the bright star. And because he's got the love of the mother, the earthen mother, Juno, with him, that's a strong quality. So these are the circuits. We just looked at the circuits. So he has a link between Ceres, Chiron, Saturn, the sun. And then also, really important, Chiron and Polaris, Saturn and Polaris. So we're going to keep an eye on those. So we're now going to go to the day he got his angel wings. As you can see, August 11th, 2014, 11:45 is the estimated time of death. So we won't really use some of the things, but we're gonna go with that time for now. What was happening on that day? So I first scan and see what's going on. Oh, look, Chiron is exactly aligned with Ceres. We just talked about that. What's the relationship between Ceres and Saturn? Well, Chiron's there, the wounded healer. So the Grim Reaper, Ceres, the harvester, aligned with Chiron on that day exactly. This one's not very time dependent because they're slower moving luminaries. Ceres was aligned the ascendant. It says 0.5, but if this is roughly this time of death, so the Phoenix rising, the ascendant line, Ceres was there. Juno with the black moon and Pluto, which is Osiris. So just scanning down, this is what I look at. This is how I do it. There's Hygeia, also in Trinity with the ascendant. Lilith with Vesta. The vertex, Saturn and the black moon. Saturn and Neptune. The South Node and Hygeia. I'm just rattling these off, but you can also see now the sun kicks in, the sun with the ascendant. So are related to changing over. So I'm looking at the Ceres with the vertex. That's his natal vertex, so that counts. Ceres is on the ascendant, aligned with the vertex as a trinity. So this is the way you do it. It really is that simple. You can see the bridge between, no pun intended, Chiron, Saturn, and Ceres. If you're looking at somebody's chart who has the D and the A, who has a hard time being here with Father Time and the Harvester, you look for those and they're there. Done many of them. Predicted of friends. I told Kathy, this friend is not going to be doing well in 2 weeks from now. We chose not to tell them because then they would sit there and worry about it, and then it could be positive, the power of intention, power of suggestion. So we didn't say anything to them. 1 week after the event, we were out for dinner together, and the friend says, I need you to look at my chart. I want to know if it was in my chart. So I knew exactly what she was talking about. And it was exactly the day that I said. It was in her chart. I didn't say it. The vibration was there. I read it. I said, it was in your chart. She goes, how do you know? I says, and I just pointed to Kathy, and Kathy told her, Claudio told me it was going to happen. Well, why didn't you tell me? I says, well, if I told you, it could be power of suggestion. Isn't it better that you didn't know and now you know? Absolutely. So people, you have to use Ceres with Saturn. There can be other links to more complicated one, but this one was easy. Ceres, Saturn, and Chiron. Chiron, the wounded healer. The Chiron, the wounded healer, he's taking one for the team. He wanted to be recognized. This whole seed thing and everything that's happening the last 2-3 days, so we can get this message out, is part of the synchronicity. Share with people. Tell them it's in your chart. It's time to wake up. You don't have to say that part, but it's in their chart. It's not you. It's an energy. It's an old vibration that you just need to endure. And like Marion said, there's so many things that can help you get over it. But to get over it, you need that realization. You need that love. You need to know that it's not you. It's just past karmic vibration. You don't have to think about what it was. It doesn't matter. It's the new you, the now, that matters. So today is a very short meeting. I just want to do these ad hocs. Now, if anybody wants to say, can you check somebody's chart? It could be anyone. We can research it right now. We have time. And we can go look and see Saturn and Ceres in their charts, because that's what it is. And just for fun, let's go look at the fixed stars on that day when he passed. Lilith and Rigel, descended with Pollux. Pollux is this of the twins in Gemini. Pollux is the immortal one. So his ascendant and descendant is aligned with Pollux. Pallas with Algol. There's not a whole lot there that's related to this, except for Pollux, the immortal one, because that really is the message. The message is that we are all immortal. We are. It's just this meat suit. And as soon as you realize that this meat suit has a better time when we approach things with love. And I'm in the same boat as everybody. It's not easy. Things happen today that I got to approach with love and guidance, but I know I'm guided. And every one of you give me guidance. I know you do. So anybody that you want to study? Anybody want to bring up somebody to check out? A person that's with us, a person that's not with us, a celebrity?
Could you do me?
Absolutely. Bobby, have you experienced these things?
I've experienced a lot of things. You know, that's what attracted to me to you a long time ago, because I've tried to learn astrology, but I've never got and then when I found you doing the dendra chart, I just thought it was amazing how you could do that, because you're the only one I know that does that chart, you know.
Yeah,
I was fascinated. Yeah,
I've learned from so many different people. I just took it and said, okay, well, this looks like a puzzle, and I just went click, it fits, right?
right.
Yeah. So okay, so let me put your information in, Bobby. Okay, your place of birth?
Wichita Falls, Texas.
Wichita Falls, Texas. Let's see. Hopefully, I got RX. Texas. There it is. Okay, your date?
1961.
Huh, same as me. 1961. Okay. What day?
February 28th.
February 28th. Okay. And you know the time?
7:24 a.m.
Oh, nice. That helps, you know. I didn't even look at that. Oh, I got to start over. I know this app does that. My goodness. Okay. Hang on, Bobby. I got to start over. If you touch outside the screen, it shuts down. February 28th, 1960. I got to watch where my fingers are. And we're at 7. What time? 7:24 a.m. or p.m.?
Yes.
A.m.?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Got it. Save. Bobby. Whoop. Dwayne. Search location by name. And you're living in what city now?
I'm living in Carson, Mississippi.
Is it MS? Or
Yeah,
MI?
for Mississippi.
Yeah, okay.
MS.
Okay, save. It's important where you're at today, because if you need to know the MC, right? Like we talked about yesterday, the MCIC, the ASC, and the DC, the cardinal points. If you want to know exactly when a communication, when there's something happening in the sky, it probably even makes sense to plant a seed when you're doing something with the cardinal points. You got to have the location you're in. If you're away for the weekend and you're somewhere else, you got to put that location to have the MC be accurate. MCIC, ASC, DSC. So that's why that's important. Okay, let me just turn on the stars. And for those that are watching, sidereal, Lahiri, equal house. If you need to understand why that matters, go grab our book online, iyoutome.com/arahant. Explains it all there. It's done with a foundation proof of why that works, including the fact that we predicted the Corona cleanse in May 19th of 2019, before they announced the Corona, whatever it is, right? This is not, everything's happening because of the C word. No, everything's happening because Mary's return. So you need to use these settings in order to be accurate with the house system and with where the luminaries are in the current zodiac sign. Okay, so looking straight away, I mean, wow, your sun and south node. Let me put my porn over here. Can you see that? South node and the sun.
Uh-huh.
So this is in a position that can be related to eclipses. So I'm not saying you had it happen, but this has the potential of passing out, getting dizzy, really dizzy.
I've been going actually for, I guess, for the last like 7-8 months. I get all these dizzy spells. I got sometimes go down to the ground just to, start getting my head back together and stuff. But yes, I've been going through a lot of that.
Right. And now, why now versus back then? Well, there can be a number of reasons, but because it's happening to everybody is because the sun is brighter. We're getting a new sun. There's halos around the sun. All the artwork shows halos around people. We all become Christ conscious. We all become aware. This is what's upon us. So we get to have that realization. So everything, all luminaries are brighter during a Phoenix rising. So they amplify. And that's the Corona chakra cleanse. Eris is in, because she's way back here in Pisces, but now she's in Aries. She goes back one last time into Pisces, then she goes in for Phoenix rising next April. You also have Pluto and the North Node in retrograde in Leo. So Pluto is Osiris. He's your father. He's there holding your hand at the weighing of the heart ceremony. And with that being at Leo and with the subconscious mind, your conscious mind, as Levette likes to call it, in Leo. So you got to look at, where was your heart? What challenges were there with your heart? This is going to be really important. Where it's at in the Dendera, and let me pull that up for one quick second so we can put some meat behind what we're talking about. Where do I have one? Bear with me for one moment, please. I should always have it at my fingertips, shouldn't I? Can't edit this out because we're live. Okay, let me do it this way. Okay, let me bring it in. So your Pluto's sitting right around here, where Mary, pure love, whatever you want to call her, she's sitting, excuse me 1 second. She's sitting right in line. Sorry, your Pluto is sitting right in line with the Mother Mary, and that's you, Horus, in her hand, saying, you got some lessons to learn. So that's what that could imply. I'm not saying it applies to you, but that's the message. Because Pluto's sitting there with your conscious mind. Are you making loving decisions? Because it's in Leo, but in the house system, it's sitting in Virgo. Purity, pure of heart, because Leo and there. All right, let's go back to your chart. So that's just what I see overall. I mean, I can go and look in detail, but I just, the bang, that's what sticks out. your aspect list. If you want to talk the Ceres and doing two things at once. You want to talk Ceres and Saturn? I can get that out. Or just in general.
Whatever you desire to do, brother. I'm
I
all
got
right
you.
with it.
Okay. I didn't know if you just wanted to stick on that one topic, like what's our buddy we just
Yes.
Robin Williams, or not. So look at the moon. The moon's in a semi-square with Mars. What can that cause? Fiery change monthly, because the moon can go across and many times can hit Mars. And so that could fire you up, make change physically, spiritually. The moon is in a golden ratio aspect with Ceres. So that's the thoughts of harvest, right? Are you doing the right thing? Are you on the right path? You got Mercury, the Akashic record holder, and Saturn, right, in the same semi-square. So Mercury means your past, present, future vibrations. You got with Saturn and Ceres. So there could be issue there as far as, I say issue, but it could be strength or it could be lesson. So there is a vibration there related to time, spiritual law, that's Jupiter, and the Akashic record, in other words, the scribe. In other words, hey, we got note of this. Mars is trine with Chiron, the wounded healer. This would be why you're here. This be why you're asking right now, because you're playing the wounded healer. You're allowing people to hear what we're saying about your chart. That's how Chiron kicks in. Chiron's always the one that's going to say, okay, in order for me to get that on that spiritual bridge from Saturn to Uranus and above into the stars and to go further with our lives, we need to reach out. And you got a trine there with Mars, which is very interesting, because now this can outweigh the one we talked about before. If that caused a lesson versus a strength, this will help you with your realization, turn those into strengths. So in other words, tell your story. Tell your story that everything that's happened to me is in my chart. Because it is. Every life event is in your chart. 100% is. Mars with the moon, we already talked about. We're going to see them 12 because it's sorted by, it's sorted by body. So we've already talked about those. Interesting. It's more than 1.0, but it's a notable mention because Neptune is in trinity with the sun. That means it's going to give you electrifying energy to do things. So throughout your life, electrostatic energy. I don't know if you've ever experienced anything with that, but probably haven't.
Well, everybody that touches me gets electrocuted.
There you go. So you zap them, right? That's this. That's even though it's 1.5 degree, it's still in, right? But I don't use those unless somebody says something. Why is this happening? And then I go look to see at the ones, because it's still in the red, right? It's in the zone.
I wanted to ask you this other, I've been having all kinds of just great experiences, and I don't know because I've been on a spiritual path for about 24 years now. That
wow.
I've read thousands of books and then I've applied them to my practices and stuff. But like in the middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll be outside meditating, and I had an eagle come within like a foot of my face and just look at me straight in the eyes. It was a pretty chilling experience. And then during the daytime, I've had an owl. I watched it fly to me. This is in the afternoon, fly to me and land 10 feet in front of me and just stare at me. a white one. It was pretty amazing too. You know, it's just experiences like that that I've been experienced for the last few years, you know.
And rightfully so, because it's time. Genesis, we're leaving Revelation, we're going into Genesis. So we're being revealed to, and then next year Genesis starts. But it's a cusp, it's a cusp thing. It grows more, right? So all the animals in Genesis, if you understand Genesis, the animals, insects, Mother Nature takes domain back from man. Man can join or not, but she's going to replenish the earth. So you're already starting to see beautiful signs. That's awesome. Let me move this over so you can see. Your light will shine if you only let it. Know that your higher self will only give you straightforward, positive, and encouraging support. This is very synchronistic for me to read this because I'm taking the message too. Because that's why we get in rooms together. We're still talking to ourselves. So you're talking to me, but and then I'm reading this, I'm also speaking to me. Everybody should realize that.
Because you're in Virgo, right?
Dave says,
your sign is in Virgo.
My sun sign is Virgo. My sun sign is Virgo. The sun is exactly across. Yeah. Yeah.
So
what's that?
Me and you are 180 degrees apart from each other.
Okay, let me just pull that up so we can show people what he's saying. That's right. Yeah. See, his sun is your sun is in Aquarius, but across exactly from Virgo, the 6th house. You're absolutely right.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Because this is still Virgo. This is the misinterpreted tropical. This is the natal position of manifest. Arise, set, come back, spirit world, and then in peak of manifest, magnetism. So yes, you're absolutely right. So you started asking about these experiences. Well, that'll be, the more and more you get these things, it's going to be cardinal points specifically.
Okay.
I don't know if you've watched my last 2 Metaphysics in the Bible videos. Well, no, you were there. You were there. The cardinal will tell you when to look up. The cardinal will tell you when to look. You have the sun in conjunction with Eris. That's you and the mother, a very, very strong connection. Get it?
Mm.
Check June rising time. So now here, Black Moon gives you deep spiritual signs. Do you see it? This will be at play for sure with you.
And the Black Moon represents what?
The Black Moon is the deeper node. It's like so you got the moon, which is the mother's watchful eye. Mary's watchful eye, love's watchful eye on you. That's why it's the fastest moving around, right? The Black Moon is the deeper side of the watchful eye. You got a white moon, and then you got a black moon. And that black moon is way more spiritual. You'll get really big aha moments, like, wow, I can't believe that just happened. You go see that, you'll see Black Moon at play. And because you have a golden ratio aspect with your Black Moon, that'll come out even more. Get it? Mm-hmm. That's why this is kicking up, because the sun's brighter. We're getting a new sun. There's a halo around it. So you should be experiencing it more. But I would venture to guess that you've always had these deep spiritual signs. Maybe you didn't understand them early, but you said you've been doing this for quite a while.
Ever since I was a child, I had, this would probably sound wild to a lot of people, but when I was a child, I was afraid of thunderstorms and stuff. and one night I was just looking out the window. I think I was only like 6 years old, and I was looking out the window, and the lightning bolt came down and landed on our picnic bench out in our backyard. Mm-hmm. Well, it molded into a being of light that was just standing there, you know. And then every day after that, he was there every night. I even took my mom out there to see him and stuff. You know, she still remembers to this day, and she always thought I was crazy. You know, but
Do you
this
have that
being,
date?
oh man, I can't remember the date.
Okay,
I
that's
remember I
okay.
was 6 years old, and
Okay, okay, yeah. Of course, six.
but it was,
I heard you say that too.
and but he'd come to me at night when I'd be asleep, and he'd always put his forehead on my forehead, you know, and it just, you know, I got chills right now thinking about it, but
Now, who put the
it
forehead? Who put the forehead on your forehead? Sorry.
that being that came down, but what
Oh,
I
the beam came on your forehead. Wow.
well the guy himself, which looked like a man because he was like in a robe, but it was all white light,
Gotcha,
right?
gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. So,
And he had a
uh,
beard and everything, but he would come into my room when I'd be asleep at night and put his forehead on my forehead.
wow, he's doing the.
But I
That's so
always,
cool.
what my intuition and stuff tells me, that's me. It's me. For some reason, I believe it was me.
Yes. Well, we're all one, so yes, that is a true statement. It could be you. It could be. It could be Osiris. Osiris is Horus. We
Right.
play those parts all the way along. We are one. We're now going to, like Carlos says it best, one is trying to find itself back together again, right? Because
I
we split
believe
out,
that.
now we want to come back together. Because of course, it's a Taurus field going out, right? And back in. So
Right.
yeah, 100%. So here, your Trinity. So it's a Trinity. So it's a good aspect, right? But Neptune is in retrograde, so you have something to learn how to harness this energy and use for good. Sounds like you've been doing that anyway, but knowing that it's in your chart, that is there for you. And the more and more you know that, the more and more you get to benefit by it and trust it and trust the love that we're getting.
Right. And I do. I believe in all that stuff. Like I said, I've been studying esoteric knowledge for about 24 years now,
So
and I
that was,
teach. Yeah.
oh, good for you. So the
But I,
relationship there between the sun, Neptune, the sun with Mary, the sun and the black moon, uh, it's like, it's just there. It's there. It cannot not be there. Many people don't use, they mistaken Lilith with black moon. They get switched around. This is the right, our brother here, I'm drawing a blank on his name, the guy for Time Nomad, Dennis. He's got them right, because I know what Lilith does and I know what Black Moon does. And I've seen it in many people's charts. So he's got them the right way. People get them mixed up. This is the right way. So that's there in your chart for sure, brother. So I just wanted to go see it. And Neptune is where? Hang on. I want to see what house. So again, when that man came and put the forehead on the head, oh, look, here comes the cat. Your Pluto with the head of the snake in retrograde, though, that there plays part, because this is the dad, this is the father, this is the man, this is Osiris. But it doesn't go Isis reports to Osiris. No. Masculine rides the wave of the feminine, divine feminine. They're inseparable, but when we come pure love, it's like it's not even there, but it's there. So the father's always there, but the father comes from the mother. We can't come, we can only come here through the waters of the mother, or divine procreation, like the scarab does. The scarab does it without a female, but he's granted that because of love. All right, so let's keep going. Let's see what else we see in here, man. Because I do want to get to your ascendant, but they're all going to come up anyway. Do I have them all selected? Yeah. Do you have astrology apps, brother?
No, I don't.
Okay. Here's a nice sign for you. Jupiter in golden ratio aspect that makes it really, really, really strong. And like you're part of the, golden ratio means it's there. It's the best connection you can possibly have. Very spiritual. So Jupiter, spiritual law, is in golden ratio aspect with the mother, almost exact. That's cool. Of course, you got with Mercury too, semi-sextile. Your Mercury is in retrograde. So your ability to tap into the Akashic record, there was lessons. You probably already passed those from early on, but you're connected for sure. And then you bring in Saturn. Yeah. Okay. And so I'm sorry. I know it sounds like a bunch of babble words to you, but I'm just going to say key words and see how it vibrates with you. We already talked Pluto, north and south node. So Pluto in retrograde has got to do with the head and the tail,
Uh-huh.
Are you working on anything that keeps you here? The
I
Ouroboros,
understand
right? Right. What are the things? The 42 spiritual laws of Isis, we're not following those 100%. That's what keeps the Ouroboros together. The circle keeps us on the wheel. Again, Chiron and Mars, we talked about that. Chiron with the black moon, Chiron with the MC. So whenever the Chiron is overhead, aligned with the MC, good time to go talk to him. The key to the spiritual bridge. Ask for signs.
And Chiron is in what sign?
Your Chiron is in Aquarius. Go figure.
Okay.
In the 12th house, Piscean.
Okay.
So that too, we're going into age of Aquarius. Makes sense for you, right? The mother and the son we talked about. And then you got Ceres and the moon, right? Ceres in the beginning portion of Pisces. So if you go look at our book, you can see that we put it into subharmonics, so you can see that Ceres is in the beginning of Pisces, so that represents a subharmonic of Aries.
Okay.
And then aligned with the moon. Now, Cancer represents the stomach and your vibration. You got black moon and moon. So I would ask people, and it's the moon is in the beginning portion of Virgo. So I would ask people with this, Virgo is intestines, and of course, virginity and purity, but also Cancer is the stomach. So I'd have to ask people, is there stomach issues that you've had?
No, I haven't.
Okay. It all depends on where it's at and what are the aspects associated with it, because not everybody with moon and Cancer, but with me and several other people, the moon. Okay. That's good to know. Because I'm still learning. I'm still 100% learning. What's the difference between me and you? Why did the moon in Cancer, which represents stomach, give me issue and not you? So there's something that's tied in with the moon that's doing it. And I'm sure I could go point that out. Vest of the Vestal Virgins in a Sesqui square, exact with black moon. So that's purity. You're working on that, that's for sure. Lilith and Hygeia. Okay. So when you have episodes, then we can get into more deeper dive on why things happen. Black moon with Mars, of course. Black moon with sun, we know. Your ascendant line with Icarus. And Icarus with Juno in Capricorn. So Icarus is your wings, right? Mm-hmm. It's basically Mercury with no cross. So you're leaving the cross. You're getting your wings. So that close to Juno means Earth and Mother. And then both those being in Capricorn, which is the mermaid principle. In other words, there should be nothing you're doing with a woman other than, I'm not talking to you, I'm just talking in general, than treating her like a mermaid, a divine feminine.
I
So
try my best.
yeah, and because that's aligned with the ascendant, that's the Phoenix rising. That's an interesting thing that you could look into based on experience. Again, your whole chart. I'm just using potential circuits that are at play because we can dampen every one of these vibrations based on changing our ways. Of course, the MC. All right. Let's go look at. Ooh, there's an interesting one. Neptune. There's your lightning aligned with a crux. That is the star in the alpha. What's it called? The Alpha Crux, the cross in the sky. Is that the Southern Cross? I don't know. It's in Libra anyway. I haven't done a lot of research with that, but when it's aligned with a star, it's important. So I would research this one, brother. I don't think I have that one laid out yet, but let me do a quick check. Sorry. Go to file. Do I have a crux? Hang on one second. So I'm studying the stars and their effects. And then when oh, there we go. A crux is the Southern Cross, and it represents the centaur. So what does that mean to you? Look into it more. Look at this. Look at the etymology of the word, the mythology of that star, and see how that applies with you. Because when there is alignments with the MC or any one of the cardinal points, mostly, but you can do it on other things, but those ones there, you can go and tap into this because you got a special connection with Neptune. Neptune is, you've already crossed the bridge, Chiron, the wounded healer. To get across that bridge, we need to be of pure love and understanding, right? All our thoughts, our words, our actions are pure. You follow the 42 spiritual sign, the 42 spiritual laws of Isis. That Neptune aligned with the Southern Cross is important for you. So that will play a part in things that have happened in your life. There's the Capella. The IC is the Imam Coeli, a place where spirit resides. It's the bottom of the cross, bottom of the swastika, domain of Horus, right? The domain of Horus. We talked about that in yesterday's meeting. So, I mean, the eagle, the owl, they're all trying to tell you this. They're pointing towards here, and they're pointing towards the ascendant, the all-seeing eye. There's other places on here that we could look into too. But depends on the experience and depends on what happened that day. Oh, look at this. Uranus, which is in retrograde, also on the other side, winds of change, aligned with Deneb Algeti. Deneb Algeti is in Capricorn. It's the judicial point. Okay? It's the point saying basically, here, let me pull up, I got it here. The judicial point to enter the mermaid principle, Vesta and the Vestal Virgins. It talks about everybody's supposed to respect the divine feminine. We have the divine feminine ourselves. The cats represent the divine feminine. And then the females represent the divine feminine alongside with Juno across from Scorpio, staying on the wheel. So that's something that you could research. It's a deciding thing. It's a change agent for you. Of course, if you have your IC aligned with the Capella, then you also have the MC aligned with Capella. Did we already talk about Capella? I thought we did. It's right there. Did we talk Capella? Yes, we did briefly, but I went off on the tangent about what the IC is. So the ICMC with the Capella means somebody needs to be nurtured, either you or giving it out. So whether that's happened in your life or still about to happen, but there's something there.
Mm.
If there's a place where you're supposed to be, let's say, hey, you have a sibling, you have a friend, it's somebody else that's really, really, really needy, that's in your chart. That can manifest.
Yeah, I've been through that. My wife had cancer for about 3 years. And then the doctor told me that I need to prepare because she'll be gone by the end of the week, you know. And I told the doctor, I said, I don't think so. And I have a few friends worldwide that study the esoteric, and we did a little ritual, and she's still with me, and it's almost 15 years later. But within 3 days, she had was entering her heart. Within 3 days, she didn't have no cancer in her body whatsoever, and she's completely healed now. You know, it's just that was an amazing thing that happened. And but yeah, I do that nurturing naturally with my grandchildren, my children, and anybody in need that I see. You know, I'm always trying to give love because I see everybody as my brother and my sister, no matter their color, race, religion. That is irrelevant to me. It's because I know we're all one, and it's in all of our hearts, you know. So I love the best I can.
It's you. It's in your chart.
Mm.
People got to understand this, that this is real. Everything is in our chart. This is revelation. We get to see that we're more than some fart in the wind, right? We're all going down the rabbit hole. It's time for change now. And it will change for the better. We have to observe, even me, there's still things happening in my life that I have to greet with love and watch where it goes and know that we'll be guided. So, so we talk about then about Getty, and of course your MCIC. So, yeah, I can't imagine the times when you went and did those things with people, things aligned in your chart for you to do it. When you're loving, everything starts coming together. You're taking the least path of resistance to the point in the middle, from the circle to the point in the middle. We can take the labyrinth all the way around, bouncing all over the place like a pinball machine. But that's our choice. We can vibrate the waters and go to the path to the middle by using love. Moses raising the freaking scepter and the waters part. So you look like you're doing that really well, brother. Venus is in a sextile, which is another trine, relationship to trine with Rigel. Let's look up Rigel. I don't have it memorized. Where are we? No, I didn't do Rigel yet. So, but I would look into that one because Venus, it's in Taurus, the Earth and Mother. Venus is Mother Nature. So Rigel, let me hang on, let me pull this up and see what starts coming to me, because I've studied most of them, just not retained to memory. Right. Oh, okay. I guess you guys might want to see, huh? Okay. So Venus, your natal chart is Pisces, in the second house of Taurus. And of course, Rigel is in Taurus. And the meaning of Rigel is, and of course, let me pull that back up for a second. Because if you can see, Rigel is right in line with let me zoom in here. Rigel's right on the domain of Horus. That's special. Everybody's chart is special, but it's special in terms that it's important that this is really important to you to study Rigel. And Rigel, let me see what Dennis says about Rigel. Hang on. No. Don't long. According to Ptolemy and Lilly, it's the nature of Jupiter and Saturn, but later authors considered favorable and similar to, see, some of these, you have to really study the stars, because there's many different opinions, misinterpretations of the stars. I don't look at all the gobbledygook that they say, the potential that can have this, that, like the not good stuff. I really don't pay attention to that. But there's a book called, and I'll send it to you, Bobby. Are you on Facebook or something that I can send you the star catalog that I got?
I'm not, but I've been sending you emails. I can send you my email.
Okay. Have we been communicating over email?
A couple times. Well, actually, for several years, actually.
Yeah, I know, because
Talked.
I remember the name, Bobby. I remember the name, but then I didn't have you as I did. Did I do your chart? Because I don't find it in here.
No, 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 no. You never done my
Oh, okay,
chart or
okay,
nothing.
okay. Okay, then let me
I'd call and ask you about information about things, and you would text,
yes,
let me
yes,
know.
yes, yes. It's coming back to me because I know the name. I know the name, but I just, my memory.
Right. Well, I understand.
Okay, here's an important one. Juno in a sextile, or it's like a semi-trine with Rasalhauge. And Rasalhauge is aligned with your MC. We haven't got there yet. Rasalhauge is the brightest star in Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus again is the wounded healer, right? That's the home of Chiron. So Rasalhauge aligned with your MC, man, you have a direct link with the wounded healer. That's why you helped your wife. You got a direct line. Brightest star in Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer, the one who separates the Ouroboros.
Huh.
And of course, opposite the IC.
That's in Sagittarius.
Well, no, that's in, sorry. Rasalhauge is on top of, it's
Scorpio.
in line with Scorpio on the zodiac, but in the constellations, Ophiuchus steps on Scorpio. Materialistic desires to make it to the point in the middle. You'll see Ophiuchus is much further north towards the point in the middle. And that's how separating the Ouroboros, stepping on the Scorpio is mythology, but that's the truth. And you have Hygeia also in Scorpio. 9th house. And the MC is in the 10th house, which is Capricorn. But you got a direct line with Rasalhauge. Another good point to study. But it's related to Chiron, the wounded healer. And you got a direct line. So when you said, no, my wife's going to live, there's a reason why you got to have success in that. There's a big reason why. That is so awesome. Okay, so that's going over what I would do when I do somebody's chart. Just what I see at first glance. And then if anybody said, well, why did this happen? We'd have to go and look now to see why it manifested. So,
well, I thank you much, Claudio. I appreciate it.
Like, what would you say? How is this you? Sounds like you. And I know you a little bit.
So many things that you mentioned there. I mean, I didn't personally know how to read it, but yes, I have a lot of those qualities that you mentioned, and experienced so many of them,
Right. And if you had a major event, we'd go look and you'll say, there it is.
Well, I tell you, like a major event where I got hurt, I was reason I got hard where I was hit by 26 ton hit me. And it happened on May. It seems like in May is when I have all my my bad things in life that I experience,
When you said you got hit 26 ton, what does that mean?
Oh, well, I was in my vehicle and a 26 ton truck hit me.
Ah, that's interesting because my wife had the same thing happen to her. Interesting. There's a synchronicity. Do you remember the date?
Yeah, May 5th at 3:15 in the afternoon.
And you know the year too. Okay, let's go look that up. Let's go look it
The
up.
year was 1997.
Bookmark. I'm going to add a bookmark. Title: Big Truck. Well,
Very
you know,
big
I don't
truck.
like putting non-positive vibrations in my ratings as much as I can. Right? So
Right.
so danced with a 26-ton truck. Okay. Date again, sorry.
That was May 5th,
May 5th, Cinco de Mayo,
1997
1997. Okay.
at 3:15 in the afternoon, if that matters.
Oh yeah. It definitely helps. 3:15 p.m. Okay, and where were you? What city?
I was in Defiance, Ohio.
Defiance, Ohio. There it is. Because you need that to get the MC, get the MC and the IC lined up.
Okay.
Okay, save. And we're going to go to boom. Bear with me while I stare at this for a sec. I just want to see if anything obvious sticks out. I mean, that day, Chiron was aligned for everybody, right? Chiron was aligned with the mother.
Right.
The moon was passing Mercury in retrograde. That's just looking at this Lilith near Mars, the black moon near your North Node and Pluto. Did you pass out? Was there any physical things that happened to you?
Oh
You don't have to
yeah.
mention
Well,
it.
no,
Huh?
I got bolts and rods all in my back now from it. Yeah. He hit
So
me so hard. Yeah, I flew over the car that was in front of me and then had a head-on collision with oncoming traffic.
okay, so that would be lower back.
Yeah, my lower back.
Yeah, so that's seventh house. That's seventh house. So you can see the North Node, right? Don't forget North Node's aligned with Pluto. So something there's a sign there, obviously. We have to you have to try to figure it out. I don't know if we can get to that today, but
Oh,
right.
well, that's fine. I just thought
Yeah.
maybe it would have been something
Oh,
obvious that
oh
was
yeah.
stuck
Well,
out.
so you can see how Pluto is near the North Node. You can see the South Node has got Vesta and the Vestal Virgins, right? So think about relationships, purity at that point, what was happening in your mind, what was happening that day. That's possible. You don't have to share anything. I'm just giving you thought
Right.
starters.
No, I just got off work.
So we know about the black moon and the North Node. They're very close. But the exact time is they usually manifest. So MC was square with the sun, the midheaven in Taurus, and the sun near the ascendant position in Aquarius. Okay. And that, of course, hang on a second. So this is where we go back to a look at your natal and the circuits that are there from your natal chart. So what's there with the MC? So obviously the sun is you, the midheaven is talking to you at that time, exact time. If you push on this button here, it'll show you. Yeah, that's a quick thing. The MC does that. Venus in the vertex, the sun in the ascendant. I think you got that in your chart.
But
Saturn.
understand, even though this thing was bad for my physical health, my spiritual being came alive at that time. This is what woke me up from everything. This is what took me back to chasing knowledge about. I told God, I said, if you're out there, I'm going to find you. And that started my search.
Okay, at the same time, the North Node and Lilith temptations. I don't know if you were having physical, spiritual, not good temptations happening in your life at that time, thoughts. That's just, like I said, they're just thought starters. They might not necessarily apply. Again, these vibrations can be muted. They can be part of it. So the sun and the MC, Mercury and the vertex. Here you go. Neptune in retrograde aligned with Pluto and the North Node. That alignment happened that day. And of course, it's because of the injuries that you have, it's going to be a slow moving one that has that aspect. Yeah, so to me, it's the MC and the sun was square, right? And then let me go by, natal. So I can align them up together. The MC and the sun. The MC and the sun, and the MC with Mary. So like you said, it was a wake-up call for you.
I personally believe that's what that was. Even though what I thought at that time it happened was pretty drastic, it was actually a blessing in disguise, because I would have never, I worked so many hours. I worked like 7 days a week, 16 to 18 hours a day. I just worked all the time. And I didn't have time to study any kind of spiritual knowledge.
Well, there you go. There's your temptation. You were working lots of hours. Did you do it because you loved the work, or did you do it because you loved the money?
I hated the work. Be honest.
Right. So the temptation Lilith will tempt you with money. So that's still part of it, because that's why I brought that up. There had to have been a temptation thing involved.
Right.
So you're tempted with money. If people got to let go of the material things in life, right. That was your wake-up call. Right. So yeah, now that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. And as you can see, Black Moon here is about to transit your North Node and Pluto. That's when you started getting signs. So the next few days, whenever, I'll check that in a minute, when Black Moon crosses it. Yeah, I mean, this is it right here. The North and the South Node in these aspects with Lilith, it's right there. You're being tempted for money. It's time to let go. And you did. Mm-hmm. You paid attention to the signs. We don't need astrology. We don't. We just have to pay attention to the signs, but showing people the magic that it's actually there. It's not woo-woo. Oh, you're crazy. No, it's there. It's 100% there. We just proved it was there. You got to use the right Lilith. And let's see. Now I can do a little bit deeper sign in here. Deeper look, I mean. So, of course, the South Node was in aspect, close aspect with Vesta, the Vestal Virgins, being pure, right? And Lilith is in your second house, Taurus, Earth and Mother. And then Aries, right? That's aligned with Aries, in Aries. So your head,
right,
your thoughts, it's there. It's there, brother, 100%. And then I want to just go see. Yeah, so here's the Black Moon. In about 1 week time, the Black Moon. So the Black Moon started 5 weeks ago. on that day it was within a degree, and then you started coming to your senses and thinking about the signs. That's how Black Moon works. So within that week, it became exact. And I'm sure you probably thought about it right away, or.
What's that? Thought about what?
About going back to esoteric studying and all that.
Right. Well, yeah, because when I was younger, like I told you about the experience I had when I was young, I was really deep into spiritual stuff. But any questions even that I asked, all the way till I was like 13, I'd go to churches, different churches, almost every day of the week, just because I wanted to know more. I wanted to, but I'd read the Bible even as a child, then I'd ask questions and they'd always give me nonsense answers, like, where's this place Pine Hill that Jacob talks to God face to face? And they would tell me, well, it's over there off the, and then now that I got grown and I found out it's in my head, then, I knew they didn't even know,
Right. But when you got hit by the truck, you said you knew you had to go back to that thought process, going back into, right? Working too much.
It caused me to, yes.
Right. Was that at that moment? Was it within the week? Was it within 7 weeks?
No, it was probably a few months later, after I got off my pity pod stuff,
Okay.
because I was always a very athletic guy, I could do anything physical, I could do it. And now I couldn't no more. I used to love to run. I can't run no more. It cut me off of all the life that I knew was gone. And then I reached, who I thought I was. And then I reached for the spiritual. And then I haven't stopped since. That's what I do now. That's just what I do.
That's so awesome. So now we're going to go look for everybody what was happening on that day in the sky. Because we just looked at your natal chart. We did an example of that when you danced with the truck. And now we're going to look at that day with big truck. What was happening in the sky? Well, the MC, look at this. The MC was aligned with Aldebaran. The IC was aligned with Antares. That's the MC and the IC are aligned with 2 of the 4 royal stars on that day. So many people got messages. Many people got messages on that day. Because you have relationships with other stars in the IC and the MC, you got a big one. Mercury with Regulus, Jupiter with Alnilam. Ooh, Neptune with Alcyone of the Pleiades. Interesting. That's an interesting. I mean, this all plays part. Chiron, the wounded healer, was aligned with Alcade. Ceres with Mirac. Ceres is the harvester, right? You came close to being harvested.
Yeah, I did.
It's all there, brother. It's all there.
Yeah, you just showed me that. Pretty amazing.
And this is just looking at it really quickly. I mean, you can go more in depth, but it just happens.
Well, thank you much, brother. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And I hope somebody that's on YouTube can see this and know that everything's in your chart. And just be loving, man. We're going to ride that wake. It's all going to be good. Just got to ride out the waves. We all got to ride out these waves of energies. Any more questions, Bobby, Dave? You got anything? We've got 4 minutes left.
Oh, sorry to take up all your time.
No, but this is it's supposed to happen this way. It's meant to be this way. It's synchronistic timing. Your audio didn't work. And how many meetings? Why? Because it was supposed to happen today when I did it live on YouTube so people can benefit from it. That's you being Chiron. That's you being Ophiuchus, the wounded healer.
Mm.
It's the way it works. It's beautiful. Dave, did you say you got something? Sorry.
No.
Okay. Well, then let's we'll call it quits. It's been our hour and a half, and hopefully at least one person gains something out of this. Then we'll all be happy. I know I gained a lot. I always learn.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing, Bobby. It means a lot to a lot of people.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. See you all soon.